Hey guys, it's Trey here once again, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with setting up our web server to work with NodeJS. And in the last tutorial we went ahead and we got our server set up, we got everything configured the way we wanted, and we created our non-root user. So at the moment I am logged into our server with our non-root user, and from here we're going to actually install NodeJS, NPM, and all the other little packages that we need in order to get everything else up and running. So let's go ahead and get started. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and type in the command sudo apt update, and then we're going to type in our password, and then boom, it's going to update our packages. All right, now that our packages have been updated, we can go ahead and install Node. So what we're going to do is type in sudo apt install Node.js, and then we're going to install NPM. All right, then once we get here, type in yes, and let everything install. All right, once you get all that installed, you can go ahead and check by typing in node-v. All right, so we see that we have Node version 10.19.0, and then we can type in npm-v, and we see that we have version 6.14.4 installed. All right, at this point, we have pretty much everything that we need installed on this server to go ahead and start creating our Node server. I'm going to actually do our development on my home computer. So the computer that's at my house, that's where I'm going to do the development at. This way I can show you guys how to actually move your files from your home computer and onto this server, because a lot of the times you're not going to want to work on the command line directly, and there are other ways to do this where you can work with a graphical interface, but I think that's just a lot that you have to set up. You don't really need to do all that. So basically I'm going to do the development on my actual computer that I'm sitting in front of, and then we're going to take that and we're going to push that onto our server. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what I've done now is I've just opened up Visual Studio Code on my local computer, and I'm going to go ahead and start development here. So I'm going to open up my terminal, because you know I love my terminal. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing we did on the server, but I'm going to do it here instead. So we're going to type in npm init, and then I'm going to do -y. All right, so now we have our package.json file, and then I'm going to do the same thing, touch server.js. All right, and then here I'm going to install npm i-s, and then we're going to install express, what was it, cores, helmet, I think that was it. All right, so I'm going to add this stuff in. Now that we have that, we can go ahead into our server.js file. So inside of this server.js file, we're going to actually just set up a basic express server. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to type in const express, and then we're going to type in require express, and then we're going to do the same thing for helmet and cores. So we're going to say helmet require helmet, and then const express, not express, const cores require cores. All right, and then from here we can go ahead and set up our stuff. So I'm going to actually set up a separate port. I'm going to do the 3000. Let's do const app equals express. All right, and then let's do, actually it's not constant, let's just do app dot use, and then we're going to do Yeah, request response. And then let's just do a res.send hello world. That way we can just have that going. And then we're going to do app.listen. And then we're going to put it on a port. And then, oops, we're just going to go ahead and console.log started server on port, and then add the port. All right. So this, oh wait, I forgot to add in my mistake. Let's add in those middleware functions. So we're going to say app.use, and then we'll say helmet, app.use cores. I think that's how it goes. All right, I think that should do. Let's actually try to run this really fast to make sure I didn't mess up anywhere. So node server.js. Okay, server started on port. Let's split this. And I think curl is already installed. Let's try to use this, curl this. So we're going to say http / local host 3000. And that should be it. Yep, there we go. Hello world. All right, cool. So our server is working. So now let's go ahead, stop this, and then I'm going to show you guys how to move this, basically your files, onto the other server. So if we do an ls, we can see that we have this all of our files here. What we're not going to want to do is take that node modules file with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to move all of the other files into a separate folder. So inside of this node server folder, I'm going to make another directory. I'm going to call it node server. I'm going to say node server tar or whatever. So this is a folder. So now I'm going to come up here. I'm going to click on all of the files I want while holding the control. And I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say paste. All right. So I just don't want that node modules folder because that folder gets really large. You do not want to put that into your file that you're going to be moving. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take this folder here and we're going to compress it, put it into a compressed file, and then we're going to move that compressed file onto our web server. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to use the tar command. So we're going to say tar-cf, and then we're going to specify the name of the file that we want this all these files to be compressed into. So I'm just going to say node server tar.xz. Oh, well, let's do gz. All right. So from here, we need to go ahead and type in the folder that we want to be compressed. So we're going to do node server tar, and then we'll just hit enter. And now you see that it created this file right here. So this is the file we're going to send over to our web server. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to say SCP, then we're going to say node server tar.gz, and then we're going to specify where we want to send it to. So we're going to want to send this to CooperJ at node server.info, and then put a colon, and then we're going to do /home/CooperJ. So this is going to put it in our home folder. And the last thing that I forgot to do, when we're sending this, remember SCP is going to try to use the regular port, but what we're going to want to use is port 7777. So we're going to do --P 7777, and then we hit enter. All right, it's going to ask for our passphrase. We're going to go C. All right, So we put in our passphrase, and as you can see, it copied over 100% to our web server. So now if we head back to our web server here and we run ls, we see that we have that node server tar file here. Now we need to go ahead and unpack this file. So the way we're going to do that is by using the tar command again. We're going to do tar-xf and then specify the file. All right, so once we get that, we hit enter, and if we ls again, we see that that file has been decompressed. So we can cd into node server tar, and then here's all our files. So let's vim our server.js, and we see that this is what we wrote on our home local computer. All right, so now we have that there. So that's how you can do development without actually you do development on your local server without actually having to be on the server, and you just push all your files to that server. So this is where I think I'm going to stop here. We got a lot of information, and we know how we're going to actually be doing development. Now we just need to go ahead and set it up where we can actually, use this. All right, so that's the end of this one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next video.